I knew I'd forget something. Okay. I think you raise a very, very useful point there, Philippa, about the tech, because I know for me, I'm kind of lost. The 30-day program I did last time. Hi, Rachel. I did on just MailChimp, my email thing worked quite well, but for a bigger program, I'm not sure it would. What are you using at the moment?
MailChimp, we decided because it's, you know, it is reasonably familiar, it's reasonably easy to use, but we've got it set up literally to send emails by date. So okay. You can, and if somebody joins late, we're literally having to manually send them. And you also can't go back in, and if it classifies the email as sent, you can't go in and update it. So I've got to wait for the whole program to run before I can go and update yesterday's video link, which was the thing that didn't work. Right. So I did have somebody run me through, I think it was Constant Contact it's called yesterday. Yeah. For those who know me, well, it was Roger Harrop did it for me because it's the one that he uses. And I have to say, I think it's not ridiculously expensive. I think for up to 2,000 contacts, I think it's £18 a month to send. It works out based, I think it's 100 emails, and that's to your whole list, 100. So it will be 2 a week for a year, to a list of up to 2. So that seemed a reasonable amount of money to spend for something, and it did seem that there was more flexibility. And again, it was to create the email seemed very, very similar to MailChimp in that you pick a text and drag and drop a box, you pick a picture and drag and drop a box. So it seemed that a lot of the learning that I've already got from MailChimp, but it seemed to be much more flexible in how you can add people in and how it sends the emails. Not sure though.
Could I have a show of hands, rather than get you to speak at the moment, of anybody who's kind of struggling with the tech side as well? Do you kind of recognize what Philip is saying? And I'll put my own hand up there as well. Yeah. It kind of, the tech stuff seems to be an ongoing thing, really, an ongoing challenge. And I guess there'll never be one size fits all, because we all are different individuals. We kind of like different things, find different things easier. But I do think that's a very good suggestion that maybe we pass that on to Julie in terms of, you know, next time she runs the program, tech stuff would be really good. Or even with the kind of graduate side of things where people stay on like some of us have, again, to do some more of the tech stuff there. You could even have a kind of, and this is me just thinking off the top of my head, you could even have a kind of a base level tech stuff in the course itself, and then we could always build on that knowledge in the graduate side of things. But I think it's definitely something all of us are going to come up against. Philippa, just remind me of your goal of people to be on this program and how many you've got at the moment.
The goal was 60, or that was the absolute target.
Yeah.
The idea was to create £3,000 income from it. We've got 15, and I've got another 5 who promised to pay, but they asked to pay by invoice. They haven't paid yet, so they're not on the program.
Okay. Yeah. So are you very disappointed, or?
No, that's kind of what I was expecting, about sort of 20-ish.
Right.
It was the absolute, you know, that would have been fabulous. So no, not really. And I think particularly for the pilot, probably it's better because it means I can give everybody a little bit more time. It means I've got a bit more time to respond to people, and to answer the questions and things. Perhaps 60 was a little over ambitious, but you know, I think once it's okay, if I then learn, right, okay, I need to go and change 1 or 2 of the videos, or change 1 or 2 of the days, and then go and upgrade that, and then it can be just a rolling program, and I will get that money back. You know, I will earn the £3,000 from it longer term. It's just not out of this particular pilot.
Yeah, because I always think about the pilots, at least it gives you an opportunity, and I know those of us who were on the last cohort, it at least gives you an opportunity to try it out, and you find so much through trying it out that enables you to just tweak and improve.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
just
sorry.
recording the videos and uploading them and how long it takes and how many you can do a week and all that kind of thing. You know, that's all new. I've never done anything online before. So it's all a learning process. So, you know, anything I'm happy with.
Excellent. So just to remind everybody listening that the two things that Philippa has asked if we can help her with is, one is if we can promote the program, and I'm sure you would agree, Philippa, and I think this is true for any of us, it has to be something we feel comfortable with, that's not a complete clash with our own stuff, and I don't think it is. And would you take that as read kind of thing? Yeah. So if anybody can promote her program, that would be great. And the other thing is just the tech expertise. If anybody knows, and I'm sure the tech expertise consultant would be somebody we'd all love to talk to. So if there is somebody and you want to put it on the group as a whole, I'm sure that person might get an awful lot of calls and interested people. So is that fair enough, Philippa? Lovely. Okay, anything else? Okay, thank you. Okay. Lucy, where are you at the moment and how can we help you?
Well, I've barely even launched because I'm basically a week behind. So it's the old usual problem though. It's just I don't have an audience. I don't have an email list. I have got hardly any followers online. So I haven't posted loads of stuff yet, but even if I was posting loads, no one would see it. So it's just the same old problem, which I just feel like I need like a few years of building up an audience before any of this stuff is going to work. So yeah, I'm a bit stuck really. I've got less than 2 weeks till the program starts. But yeah, if anyone knows anyone who's got 16-year-olds. I did meet a couple of people in another group this week, had a couple of possible leads, but it turned out they were in Scotland and their system is very different and it wasn't quite right for them. So yeah, I need people in England with 16-year-olds. So if you know any, that would be great.
So would promoting your program, through our links, if that's appropriate, if we feel it's a good,
I think, yeah, if it works, yeah, and if you think you might have people in your network who are in that position, all the people I've spoken to and people with younger kids have said, oh yeah, that would be really good, but I just don't have direct connections with people at the right stage. That's the difficulty that I keep having with this stuff. Yeah.
What platforms on social? Sorry, Carol, come back to you in a minute. I just saw the hand up. What platforms do you use on social media at the moment? And are you talking about this stuff on social media?
Yeah, I'm just starting to. Mostly Facebook because that's the one where I feel most comfortable. And I haven't actually put anything about it on any of the others yet. But yeah, theoretically, I also use Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. But I'm not regular on any of those. I wonder how people do it, because I feel like if I was going to use all of those, I'd be spending all day, every day on social media.
Yeah.
So I've had to kind of pick one just so I could feel that it's even manageable.
Yeah.
I wonder how other people deal with that.
There's a message just from Claire here saying, do a LinkedIn post and I'll share.
Thank you, Claire.
Lucy, I'd copy and paste, literally. I'll do a LinkedIn post and copy it onto all the others in the morning. So it takes me about half an hour.
Just make sure there's some slight differences though.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
On Twitter, you can't say much anyway because it's really short.
But
on Instagram, you can't put links.
It takes the headline and it sees the first few words, and you can get people and they can click through. Because when you do your post in LinkedIn, you can choose to post it to your Twitter account as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it might be.
Still has a blog on it. The blog that Julie told me to do 2 weeks ago is still on my to-do list, so it'll get there.
Don't link your Twitter and your LinkedIn feed because they're completely different audiences, and they will both, LinkedIn in particular, will downgrade all your posts so it won't get seen.
Right.
Can you just say that again, please, Philippa?
Yeah, don't link your Twitter and your LinkedIn feed, particularly now that they're all trying to monetize them. They want to keep the content on their platforms unique. So this is particularly LinkedIn and Facebook. And if you put the same content on all of them, you will get downgraded. And it's why you should never use more than 2 hashtags on Facebook. If you use 3, you'll get 80% less views. They will show it to 80% fewer people. Between 3 and 5 is the maximum on LinkedIn, which is why you can't do an Instagram post and then cut it across with all the 30 hashtags. And if you are writing a blog, post it on one place and talk about it. You can use up to 25% of it in other places, but use a snippet of it and a link. Don't post it in more than one place, because Google will penalise you for that, because it thinks that you are just plagiarising somebody else's content, and it'll go, this is just a copy, and so it just won't show up anywhere. So you need to be creating, not unique, but being careful about how you post it, where you post it, and how you signpost people to where to find it.
But in terms of time to do it, Lucy, you can do a basic post and then quickly, literally, you know, I will change it, but I don't change it massively.
Can I just ask Philippa?
Run a decent social media campaign.
Hold on, people. Can you make sure you're mute at the moment, because we've got too many voices coming on, and then we're just getting a little bit confused with the. So there's a button at the bottom that you can mute yourself. That's great. Philippa, can I just bring you in there again? What did you just say there?
It takes about 10 minutes a day to run a really good, successful social media campaign. You can do it in about 10 minutes a day, and then about 2 hours at the beginning of the month, setting your strategy, setting what you're going to say, who you're going to talk to, and setting up the strategy, and then 10 minutes a day in running it.
I agree with the whole idea of, the thing is, planning in advance and then kind of batching and things like that is really good, but lots and lots of good information there. It's good to have an expert on social media in here. Lucy, just before I come to Carol, because I still haven't forgotten about you, Carol, and Brida's got her hand up as well now. Lucy, the blog post would sound to me like a really good thing to be able to share on social media, because you can kind of top and tail it differently, so that you're not having all the same information like we've just learned. What would it take to get that blog post written for you, as a priority, so then you can use it as a discussion point and a way of driving people to the blog, which then can drive people to your actual course?
To go further up, it's my to-do list, and it's about halfway down.
You bring it to the top?
I could bring it to the top, yeah. I didn't get any of the things on my to-do list done yesterday, and I was working all day, so I don't know what happened.
I have days like that too, don't worry about it. But no, I think that blog post would be good to get that out there. Carol, let me come to you there. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry.
Lucy, are you in many groups on Facebook at all? I'm thinking in terms of parent groups and stuff like that, which would be ideal for posting, not just a post to sell or anything like that, but just creating awareness to start with, and then building up to selling, and maybe spending half an hour a day. And I know it's another half an hour you've got to find. You have my every sympathy with that. Just popping in those groups and seeing what's being talked about in terms of kids and 16-year-olds and stuff like that, and maybe making some comments on posts so that you're not totally unfamiliar in those groups if you're not regularly posting in them.
Yeah, there are a couple that I'm in. There's like UK Parents of Teens, that kind of thing, but they're really strict that you're not allowed to advertise in there. So I do go in there and I comment and I offer advice and stuff, but I can't really do anything else with it, so I find that quite tricky.
What about more local parents groups to you, maybe people that may even know more about you and what you're about? Sorry, I'm not sure. Is it Brighton you are? Is there a Brighton parents group or something like that, or something in the area that would enable you to post it there?
And there's community groups and stuff, but they're so strict that you're not allowed to advertise any services in there. The only ones where I am finding it useful are things like mums in business type groups. So obviously those are for kind of pitching your business and sharing business links. So those ones have actually been more productive. And obviously ones that are aimed at mums are potentially going to have my target customers in.
Yeah.
So yeah, those ones tend to be more useful. But yeah, the ones where they're kind of purely people wanting advice about teenagers, which are the ones where I know I can be really useful, are the rules are kind of limiting, I think.
I think it's just about kind of not twisting the rules as such, but picking up on what Carol was saying there and just starting to become very present with comments. You know, you can show your expertise through your comments and through what you're saying without actually selling. And then again, I realize that this takes a while to build up because, you know, we know that people buy people they know, like, and trust. So you've got to build the trust up, and that takes time. So, and I know this is frustrating for you, Lucy, because, you know, you're in this position where you've got some great stuff to share and you want to get it out there. But I think just to go on and start really being quite omnipresent, you know, picking up on people's comments, making your own comments, not necessarily selling, but then the thing is people start to think Lucy's the person to go to.
Yeah.
You know, you've got so much expertise. I think that would be a good strategy. The other thing I wanted to say is there's lots of comments here coming on the Zoom chat. So when we come off here, you might want to just catch some of those as well. Breda, you had your hand up too. Did you have something for Lucy?
Yes, for Lucy, one of the things that I'm in the same boat, Lucy, that I'm in these caregiver support forums and they're chat groups, but they have very strict about not selling to the people. So I'm doing exactly what Heather has just suggested. So when people comment and they have a question, I respond and I come back and I give them an answer and I get an idea, and I'm hoping that people will begin to know, like, and trust me. And if there's a couple of people that I've had a good back and forth with, then I have sent them a friend request. So then if they friend me, they get to my personal page, and then I can introduce them to my business page. And, you know, it's a bit of a process, but I think it's organic in that they are, you know, they know who I am, they know what I'm about, and then they can see what I have to offer. It's not as quick as I would like. The other thing I'll say this is that several of the groups that I'm in that have these strict rules about no selling, they will have 1 day a week where they will allow people to post something. And if you can ask the administrator if they have that option and to say these are resources that would be really helpful to the group, but we understand we don't want to muck up, you know, and have it be a salesy kind of thing. But is that an opportunity they already have? Or would they consider having, you know, Monday or Wednesday for a day to present opportunities for members? They might do that, and then you can do it without breaking the rules. But I'm going to say this: I was a rule breaker because, you know, I am a badass, and this week I'm just feeling pretty stressed out. So I went to like 7 of the groups that do not allow sales and that do not have that, and I just put it in there.
You badass. Lucy.
A bold girl.
And what happened?
You are. Sorry, Fran, hi.
What happened? What response did she get?
I don't know if she had one yet.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I had 2 people that liked it. So
Oh, right. You didn't get kicked out of the group, though?
No,
what
not
I'm
yet.
wondering.
I'm being careful, but no, I haven't been kicked out.
Good. Lucy, I know that we haven't solved your issue, but could we kind of just summarize and say that blog's going to go to top priority and you're going to get it done, and you're going to get it
Spend the rest of my life on social media.
and you're going to spend the rest of your life on social media. And if anybody can you promote Lucy's course for her? Make sure we have a link, even if you need to post it in the group, Lucy, so we know what we're sharing. Rachel?
I was just going to say, I know quite a lot of 16-year-olds because my youngest is now in high school, and so she has friends, and I have friends who've got older children and what have you. So if you give me content, I will share. So put the content out there and make sure I can see it, and I'll share it along.
Great offer. And I think for all of us, it's the question, it's the thing about any groups you are in for your own area of expertise. Do what Breda is saying, not necessarily the badass bit of what Breda was saying, but go in there and check that those, to see if those groups, or ask if those groups have a day when you can actually post your own stuff to sell. But I think for all of us, again, we should be there responding, and maybe, you know, you end up getting put on so many bloody groups. I'm sure the rest of you, like me, find yourself on all these groups and think, how the hell did I get there? So maybe we need to cull our groups every so often, because better to have a few groups and be really present on them so that people do see our expertise than try to do too many. Lucy, is it okay if I move on?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, honey. Sending you lots of love. Okay, where's the time going? Sugar. Breda, tell us what's happening with you, Han.
Well, you know, I'm usually the most optimistic person I know. And so this is very unfamiliar territory, and I was feeling very disheartened this morning. I did my launch and I got 9 founding members, and then I thought I was doing all the right things and that I was doing the pre-sale. But after listening to Philippa's comments, I'm wondering if I shot myself in the foot, because in my enthusiasm to post and post and post and post, then maybe I'm being punished. And I've decided that the ultimate frenemy is Facebook. The ultimate frenemy is Facebook. And so you think you're doing the right thing. You think you're posting and posting. And I'm worried that I'm going to be one of these obnoxious people that you're seeing it everywhere. And they're saying, oh, for the love of God, would you go away? And then I talked to my web designer this morning because she checked in. She's on vacation. And she said, Breda, I haven't seen a single thing. She's checking her posts. And she and I are in a couple of the same groups. She certainly follows me. And she said she has not seen one. So,
could that be the case, Philippa?
Yeah, I mean, if you think, they say the average lifespan of any post on social media is 10 minutes. So when you think you are over posting, you're probably not, unless somebody is actually stalking you and is following you 24 hours a day. Unless you are posting every minute, you're not over posting. Do keep posting, and probably post more than you think you need to. And I say the other thing is making sure that instead of, so on LinkedIn, instead of tagging a whole load of people in on each post, send a message to everybody. So on the group, say, right, I'm going to send a LinkedIn message or put it in the Facebook group. So here's a post I put out on LinkedIn today. Can you all like it, share it, comment, whatever? So that the more interaction you get on your posts, whether it's a Facebook post or a LinkedIn post, the more it will show. The algorithms go, oh, this is useful and it's being liked, I'll show it to more people. But particularly from a page on Facebook, you're getting 30% of the engagement you were getting last December. They're really not like it unless you're paying for advertising. They don't like doing it. So it's harder the whole time to get that message out there. And the best way to do it is to get an engaged tribe to go, right, we'll like it and share it. But we need to know it's there, because otherwise we don't see it. So yeah, tell us that it's there. And you know, I'm more than happy to like and share. I've been doing the ones I've seen, I've done that for everybody, I think. So if I've missed it, it's because I haven't seen it. So.
Great advice again. Thanks, Philippa. You're such a useful person to have here.
Yes.
Clearly, social media is one of the things we're all kind of struggling with and still trying to learn about. Right, Breda. So that I can understand totally why the frustration there. What else is going on?
So, and then yesterday I tripped over my cat, and I don't think I broke a bone in my foot, but I really sprained it and it really hurts.
Oh.
I had great plans to go for my walk at 6:30 this morning and it did not happen. So that's not good. But I'm, the good news is in the midst of all this, and I was really feeling down, and then I got a little ping and the ice broke and I got one new member, and so it's a 4-day launch. I have 24 people on this wait list that I asked them to sign up for. So I'm going to redouble my efforts to them And I sent them an email yesterday, and this was why I got the one. And, I guess, Julie said it so well about being in no man's land. When you have all the excitement and everything and you launch and you think the world is just going to be there, and then crickets. And so I lowered my expectations, but,
stay with it, Breda, stay with it, because of course it's like it's your priority, it's your top priority, but unfortunately it's not everybody else in the world's top priority. But stick with it, because, and I think these 24 people sounds to me is really, really useful, spending the time and the energy, well, some time and energy on them. But you've got an amazing offer there. Every time I look at it, I just look and think how welcoming and warm and cozy and helpful and supportive it seems. So keep the faith, because I'm sure that it will happen. The thing is, Breda, even if you're not getting the numbers you want at the very beginning, the fact that people then can go through it, or can start to go through it and get the support and start talking about it, will bring other people flowing. And it's an open, and then it's closed for a while, and then it's going to be, you opening it a certain number of times in the year?
Yeah, I was planning to do it just 3 times a year, to do it now, August, and then close it, take care of everybody that's inside the caregiver clubhouse, and then reopen it in November. Maybe I'll open it sooner, like October, if I don't get, any good numbers this time. But I think the other part that I'm struggling with is that I made a conscious choice to focus my efforts, to focus my time and energy on this at the expense of other revenue producing activities. And I wasn't just playing, and I wasn't putting off those. I made those decisions. And so I think that's a really hard realization, is that was this the best use of my time in the last 2 months, this particular project. And so I guess we all second guess. We don't know at the time what's going to stick, what's going to work, and that's hard.
And yeah, absolutely. And the other thing too, of course, is, again, alluding to what said earlier, it's people getting to know us, it's people getting to trust us. And I think these things often go more slowly than we think and hope they're going to go. And, we've just got to keep the faith and keep at it. If we know deep down inside that what we're doing is the right thing, I think we can start doing things and then sometimes think, actually, no, maybe that wasn't the right thing. But that this club is a great offer to have out there. What difference it would have made to you, from talking to other people what a difference it can make. So I think that this was the right thing to go with. It's just keeping the faith.
Yes, it is. And and the other thing that I'm hanging out there, that I did have a call for a very high fee speaking gig that would lead to so many other things. It's speaking for Bank of America, so it's a huge client with a very healthy budget, and I'm on pins and needles just waiting. I've done 2 follow-ups with them about when they've made their decision, so it'll be any day. And if that happens, I'm telling you, the weight of the world will be off my shoulders. If it doesn't happen, I'm at square one.
So what can we do to help? Can we promote again? Or does the fact that we're mostly in the UK, is that not a good idea? Or?
Oh, no, it would be a great idea if, folks in the UK are very, very welcome. And I think it would work well. I don't think the time zone would be a challenge for this at all. And the material is very transferable. So if you know anyone who's in a caregiving situation and is feeling very isolated and alone and needs to take better care of themselves and doesn't even know how to, or doesn't think that they deserve it or something like that, those are the 2 areas of focus. And I'm happy to share the sales page or the landing page on this thread after the Zoom call, so that you can share it. It closes Thursday at 8 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So
okay,
that's it.
We will do that. Thank you, Breda. And just keep the faith. Honestly, I really believe that this is going to take off.
Thank you.
I really do. I'm not just saying that. I really do. Okay, honey. If there's anything else, all of you, just put it in the group, and those of us who can support, we will. Claire, can we come to you? Is Claire still there? Has she disappeared?
No, I'm here.
She's had
Getting
some.
another cup of tea.
Come on, Claire, how are you getting on?
Yeah, good. I started sending everything out on my program, and actually it was going to start August the 12th, but got some good feedback, even sort of from friends and family, that a lot of people are away. And actually some of my friends are going to do it for free just to give me some feedback on it. So, but they're all off on holiday. So I'm going to push it back to the 2nd of September.
Okay.
But so, which actually makes me feel a bit better, because at least then I've got a bit more time to in the run up to it as well.
Okay. So what do you feel now that you've pushed it back a bit? Is there enough time to do all the things you want to do to get it kind of marketed out there and everything?
Definitely. And I think with what Philippa says, I have got a small amount of money I can put to doing some Facebook ads, which actually I've been on a couple of groups where to do with menopause, that they don't allow any like posting whatsoever. I have done some sneaky sort of thing. Oh, I'm pulling together something, but I was thinking if I can then target those people via a Facebook ad campaign, it probably wouldn't be very expensive at all. So I'm going to do that as well.
Okay. And what do you need from us?
Nothing at the moment, just to keep sharing. I've sort of made a conscious decision at the moment to keep other stuff on LinkedIn. Oh, sorry, just let me shut the window. Next door neighbour's got a very noisy car. I've made a conscious decision just to keep it off LinkedIn for the time being, though I might do it sort of next week, because I'm doing some other stuff on there. So yeah, anything you see on the other platforms, Instagram and Facebook, if you can share that, be fab.
Okay. And again, I'm sure you're doing what we've been talking about, or increasingly doing what we're talking about, showing your expertise on all these groups anyway, without selling, just so that people get to know who you are and what you bring.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on various groups, like we've all been saying, and actually the local ones all allow posting about your business at least once a month, so I'm keeping track of that. And Lucy, I'm also in some business ones, so I'll post those in the group, like women in business mums, even though I'm not a mum, various things like that. So I'll post those links as well.
And I've just noticed Fran's just said, and I think that's on the back of what you were saying about Facebook ads, how worthwhile is Facebook advertising? Anybody done a Facebook advertising campaign? Yeah, Carol, you have. Has it worked well for you? No? Okay. Yeah. Claire, you've done it as well?
Yeah. I didn't get any sign-ups, but it was more because I think of the price, but it did get me some inquiries and it got fairly decent reach. And I think if you've got something targeted, and probably Philippa would agree, if you can keep the target really tight with it, then it can work well for you. So for me, I only want to target women in their 50s and 40s with certain interests and stuff. So, and actually you can keep your budget really low just to give it a bit of a try. But I think with the way that Facebook at the moment and the algorithm, I think it's really difficult as a new person just to get anything else out there. But obviously marketing's a bit of my background anyway, so I'm more than happy to have a play with these things and give it a try.
Philippa has responded on the chat there. Fran, it works as long as you do it right. Best if you can test it, but can be very targeted and effective for very little money. Biggest problem is people don't leave them running for long enough. They need to run for a minimum of 4 weeks. You don't really see results until week 6 onwards. So that's some very good guidance there.
Right.
I have never done a Facebook ad campaign because, again, I've come across such a mix of most people saying no, it doesn't work, but maybe that's because they haven't done it for long enough. So the learning continues. So don't boost
posts. Yeah, no.
waste of money. Okay, so again, there's so much in the chat here today, people. So don't miss that as well, because we can't go through it all. Claire, anything apart from sharing that we can do for you at the moment?
No, just keep giving me a kick up the bum to do videos and do more.
And let's see more of those lovely videos, because you're coming across really well in those videos, and videos are so engaging.
Oh, thank you.
And you know, do shout out if you need some help.
Yes, will do.
Carol, what's happening with you?
Can I just pick up on a point about
of course,
Facebook advertising, just to get Philippa's thoughts on it? Does Claire need to be quite careful in terms of the wording because of it being tied up with wellness and the rest of it? Because Facebook has some pretty strict policies.
Yeah, I know that already, Carol, so don't worry. I know, so I'll be very, very careful in terms of what I do. Yeah, thank you.
Just for the rest of us, what?
No idea why it works. Always include yellow as one of the main colours in the image you use in your advert. If you test exactly the same words with different images, and if they've got blue, red, green, yellow, whatever, the yellow one always does best.
Why?
But it does. Yellow it seems to be the one on Facebook that attracts people to it. Don't know why, but there you go.
Interesting. What is the thing about wellness? Unless I've just the only person who's missed it, but what's the thing about wellness and Facebook ads?
Facebook has very strict policies about what can and can't be included in advertising. And I'll just use an example. For example, weight loss. You can't advertise anything that's got weight loss. I used to have not irrelevant, but slightly different tangent. I had a faux fur accessories business where we were, designing and manufacturing faux fur accessories for women. And Facebook got it into its head that it was real fur, and it blocked every single one of my adverts and ruined a complete Christmas campaign as a result of it. If they block you, then it can end up being quite painful, because you've got nobody to talk to about it. You're just talking to bots effectively. So they will tell you, you can go through all the process of setting up adverts, and it does give you guidance, but then if there's something it doesn't like, then the computer simply says no. So that's why I was just saying, but if Claire's familiar with all of that, then that shouldn't be a problem at all.
So for something like walking, of course, because I have a particular interest here, would that be blocked because it could be seen as wellness?
No, providing it's not wellness per se, but providing you're not putting anything in there about weight loss or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, you just need to be careful, and I'm sure Philippa's much better than me at explaining this. But it is, it is about making, as Philippa's put in the chat, it's making claims that it can fix health problems, weight loss, etc. Okay. So don't come across as a qualified anything that fixes health is basically the fundamental rule on it, isn't it? Okay. But it does have some other funny blips as well.
Dear old Facebook. God, love it and hate it, honestly. Oh.
Love to loathe it. Yes,
love to loathe it. Right, Carol, come back to you. Thank you for that added information.
Yeah, no worries. I was all up in the air and feeling really happy last week because I got 4 sign-ups before I even launched, but I'm now in that no man's land and kicking myself that nothing's working. I'm not getting the traction, and I'm not getting the numbers, despite being on Facebook for rather a large amount of time, both on my business page and in my own Facebook group. Plus I am in a Facebook post cohort where we do post and share each other's posts on a weekly basis. Plus I'm in a number of other groups where I do show up regularly in those groups, or they're my networking groups, and at the moment I'm getting no traction and I'm getting disheartened.
Have you any kind of feelings as to why that might be?
I'm still not convinced it's the right time of year to be doing it, and I appreciate you know, all of Julie's comments about, you know, don't use August as an excuse and that kind of thing. But I'm still not convinced from a clothing point of view that people have got their heads around wardrobes at the moment versus, you know, other things that might be on their mind, such as holidays. But I'm trying not to let that show through. I'm trying to do some quirky, funny stuff, which does seem to have more take up. I've just been doing a behind the scenes video this morning of trying to make a video when I've got the dogs boarding in the back bedroom as well. So, you know, stuff like that where I'm trying to kind of think outside the box a bit at the moment. But yeah, I'm in that disheartened phase at the moment.
I mean, Julie did herself say, and I can't remember whether it was on the group or where it was, but she did say that she wouldn't have the launch phase of this program happening at this time of year again.
Yeah.
So I think, even though of course she's going to, and she's right to tell us to get on and launch, because
Totally.
Going back to Philippa, you know, a few people could, just because of what we were talking about at the beginning, a few people at least gives you the opportunity to try it out, and you can learn so much from the trial. But I think you might be right. You know, Claire said she has put hers back because people said people are away at this time of the year. Fortunately, Lucy, for you, it's the right time of the year for this program. But yeah, I mean, that could be one particular reason. Anybody feeling why else it might be? Anybody kind of got some idea, a little gem of information that the rest of us might be missing about launches in August? No. Okay. Oh, Breda, yeah.
So I just had a thought, and again, I'm not looking at excuses or blaming, but apart from August and the normal stuff, things are not normal in the world right now.
That's very true.
People are feeling unnerved. They're just, there's just so much discord and disharmony and fear about the world that we live in, whether it's our climate, whether it's our environment, certainly our politics, and then personal safety. So I don't know if people are just hunkering down and feeling safe and not wanting to make changes or try new things. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's another general fact that could absolutely be true. I'm sure Carol disappeared, I think, to quieten the dogs. You had to go and take dog action there, Carol. Again, I think Breda might have a good point there. I think I always feel with all of this stuff, all we can do is actually just keep going with what we're doing, and, you know, spread our own brand of love and care and everything in the world, and hope that the ripples ripple out somewhere and touch the lives of other people. And that might sound a little airy fairy and touchy feely, but, you know, what else can we do? Absolutely. Carol, is there anything we can do for you at the moment apart from sharing like everyone else?
Well, yeah, it is about sharing. And excuse me, I'm sorry, there's a lot of background noise at the minute because somebody came to the door. What I was also going to suggest to people is is that I have my own Facebook group, which is called Awesome Women with Style, and I've got about 340 members in there. Any of you are welcome to come over and join that group and start talking about your own stuff. It's not purely a promotional group, but I have no rules around promotion, providing people are sensible about it. If someone's going to continue to only come in to promote and not join in the conversations, then I will have words with them, but nobody does abuse it. I'm glad to say, but you're all welcome to jump in that group and build some traction up.
That's very kind of you. Thank you. Sounds a great group anyway, actually, Carol, whether we're promoting our stuff or otherwise.
Well, I hope it is. It's a bit of fun. I set it up 3 years ago just to see whether what it was like to run a Facebook group, not with any real intent or purpose, but it does act as a nice little vehicle. So yeah, again, it's sharing content. I'm trying to get more going on LinkedIn as well at the moment. So and thank you, Philippa, because I know you and Rachel particularly, because you've both been great at commenting and sharing on posts for me. So I really appreciate it. So it is. It's just let's help each other get the message out there at the moment.
Absolutely. How do you get yourself out of the kind of downward bit? You know, do you dance it out? Do you, what do you do?
Dogs out and turn my phone off.
Say that again, sorry?
The dogs out and turn my phone off.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Or I go to a boxing class as well, which is my other big thing.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's really important that we have a way to get out of that kind of funk as well. You know, dancing is a great way to kind of, if you're into the whole vibrational element, is to get, you know, your vibrations up, because then we attract people who are in the same kind of vibration. And walking in nature, dancing, shaking it out, boxing, any of those kind of things help, which is definitely worth thinking about. And also gratitude's a great way of, you know, the more we're grateful for, the more we tend to attract. So yeah, let's all have a go at that as well.
Just see Philippa's comment. Thank you.
You don't have to do it. I'm just throwing it out there. All options open. Okay. Anything else, Carol?
No, that's it. I mean, I'm going to see how it goes. I've got until the 15th is when I'm going live, and I will run with the program then. I'm not going to put it back, only on the grounds that I've got other stuff coming up in September that I don't want to interfere with it. But I have also made a decision that I'm really going to focus on my list building as well for the last part of the year. Because it very much is a numbers game, and about building your tribe and so on. And yes, you can have the offers out there, but at the end of the day, you've got to have quite a lot of free content as well. So I'm going to accept. I was going to do it earlier this year after I ran my free wardrobe challenge, and of course things got in the way. I didn't do it. But note to self is don't put that kind of stuff off. And because I'm rebranding as well at the end of the summer, beginning of September, it's a great time to start really focusing on list building as well.
Yeah, and you don't want to miss that by putting this offer back.
No, exactly. So, and I've also, because I do speaking with the Women's Institute, with the WI, and I've got quite a lot of talks coming up. So it's my first major month in September. So I need to make sure that I'm giving myself enough time to get ready for that and not get distracted as well.
I mean, it's the keeping the faith, like all of us, you know, it's
hard.
Yeah, it is very hard. And I think this is where, you know, being in a group like this, where we can all identify with what everybody else is feeling. And, you know, we can share what helps all of us. Not everything will help everyone, but we can pick those gems up that work for us. And yeah, you know, we've got everyone's got everyone's back. Everyone wants everyone to be successful, and it's just dogged determination, I think. So,
yep.
Okay, Carol.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much. Rachel, how are you doing? Yay, there she is.
Oh, I've got to unmute, don't I? Where's that? I've given myself permission not to launch.
Oh,
I'm watching you all and enjoying it. I was going to
hear more about this. Come on.
I was having a nightmare. It was my financial year end last Wednesday, and the previous 2 weeks to that I was stock taking, and then the kids were doing 100 things, and I just got to the point where I had to take a break before I broke. But she's listening. And so I gave myself permission not to do that. So instead, I've just been focusing on my Finance Friday. And I was absolutely gobsmacked last week at how many people on LinkedIn saw my post. I mean, no, didn't get many comments or anything. You guys are brilliant, but, you know, I haven't had interaction with it yet. But I was absolutely blown away. And I think that LinkedIn is going to be my platform. And so I was thinking of doing it anyway, but I have jumped onto Philippa's course. and loving it. So if anyone wants to know about LinkedIn, I highly recommend it. It's really good. 2 days in and I'm loving it. I might tell a different story next week, who knows, but I doubt it. But
I'm sure she won't, Philippa.
No, I'm sure I won't. But yeah, so I'm just trying to keep plodding along. I'm trying to get the most out of Tribe Builder simply by being here and being supported by you guys and supporting you guys. I think that's as much focus as I can do at the moment with everything else that's going on with this. I've got the kids over in the other room at the moment and all that. So yeah, I'm pretty good, really, actually.
And Rachel, I guess because, you know, you'd got somewhere down the line for, I mean, it actually sounds that you've made a very sensible decision, really. I mean, disappointing because I'm sure, you know, something would have come of this, but you're somewhere down the line to it. So you can bring it out and launch it at a later date.
100%. And it was really bizarre because I was all set. I was like, right, I'm going to launch this in the next round of Tribe Builder, because I was, one of the factors that decided me was, I think I'm getting my money's worth just by being in this, effectively a mastermind with you guys. So I'm quite happy to keep it going and do another round. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to launch it at this point in the next round. And then Julie said, you guys, you do realise you don't have to follow the exact timeline.
She said the same to me, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So when I have time to put my head back into it in September, I'm hopefully going to be one of the earlier launches in the next round. I'm going to do it. But hopefully I'll got some traction with the Finance Friday thing and a little bit of people knowing me and understanding where I'm coming from and what I'm like, and a bit of trust, hopefully. So maybe I'll get a bit more traction.
And a great example, actually, of what's happening on LinkedIn for you as to how you're building, actually, your expertise and your visibility and being out there and people seeing you. So you do start to, Lucy, if you're kind of, I know you're in a slightly despondent place about not having this tribe at the moment, but, you know, there's a great example of how you get out there and then people start to see you. And yeah, as you say, not a huge amount of engagement yet, but at least you're getting noticed now, which is really good.
I think my video went to 70 views. I mean, 70. I mean, okay, three or four of those might have been me going back and checking. But I was still like, that's still not, you know, you guys would have all had to watch it 3 or 4 times for it to be you lot.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are actual people looking at it.
Yeah.
Oh, you did text me, Philip, but you just wanted me on your course. That's what it was. But yeah, no, I'm really excited. I was thinking, Lucy and Fran, I think Philippa's course would be good for you as well. Look, I'm selling it. That sounds like I'm a salesman. But
affiliate link.
I need one. I'll have one for next time, Philippa. I really will. But I think it's a platform I've never used before. Literally never used until I came on Tribe Builder, other than having a profile. And it seems to have changed since when I first went on it, and it does seem to be much more useful. I think it's more focused and people are more business oriented and professional. It's not just people who are, you know, having pictures of cats doing silly things and funny memes and that sort of stuff. It's actually a slightly higher brow, if you like. But all those people on there have children. They have to do their finances. They wear clothes, they're hitting the menopause, you know, they're carers, you know, looking at you all there. And so it's actually a really good, I'm hopeful for LinkedIn. So yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my Finance Fridays. If anyone has silly questions for my first Friday of the month, I'll try and answer them.
That's a good thing, actually. So if we've got any questions to send in about finance.
I was going to do the silly question thing, wasn't I? I was looking at that right at the beginning, and I got so overwhelmed and scared by it that there were just too many questions. And actually the finance thing gave me a much broader spectrum to speak on. But then I thought, well, once a month I could do a silly question. So that's what I'm doing.
Nice. And I'd just like to say, Rachel, I see you everywhere now. I mean, No, in a really good way. I mean, you know, we've been through, this is the second cohort you and I have been in together, and I've just seen you grow so much, and your videos are so good. And Lucy, your videos are so good, and I know you don't always believe they are, but I want to see more of your videos, because, you know, you're very engaging in your videos, and Rachel is as well. So, you know, congratulations, Rachel, because I think you've really got yourself out there so much more. And, you know, you're a good model to follow for those who aren't out there quite so much. Look at what Rachel's done, and see. And I would echo the LinkedIn bit as well. I did a LinkedIn thing with Helen Pritchard, which actually really kick-started my LinkedIn, because I've been on LinkedIn for years and not noticed it, not really used it at all. And I'm getting a lot more traction on it as well. I could still, I'm sure, use Philippa's program, so I should go and have another look at that. It's just I've got so much on at the moment. But yeah, I mean, definitely the more business kind of profile, if you're looking at targeting business people. But as Rachel says, people have got children, wear clothes, you know, are caring for aged families, have got children with different learning needs, probably would like a walk, covers all of us somewhere along the line. So yeah. Rachel, you're looking actually relaxed and happy, so I think it's been a good decision.
Yeah, no, I would be a frazzling wreck at the moment otherwise. And you were saying about the videos, I hate photos of myself. I hate hearing myself on video. I was one of those very classic women who just, no cameras. And actually, I am getting much more comfortable with it. And I've actually started listening to my voice as other people might listen to it. And it's not that bad. So I need to get over myself a bit.
It's lovely, and you always look so at ease on your videos. So even if you're churning or nervous or not enjoying it, you know, in the inside, it does not come out on the outside.
Oh, thank you. That's good to know.
Yeah. Okay. So there's nothing we can do for you at the moment.
No, I'm fine, but I'm going to go and share and what have you, everybody's stuff. So that's good.
Thank you so much, and we will be sharing your commenting on your Finance Fridays and things like that. Excellent. Fran, you've been sitting there patiently. How are things going with you?
Oh, a bit like that, really. I'm the same as other people experience. I've had so many tech issues. I thought I'd done really well building a website, and then I don't know, I went a step too far and it all unraveled, and then I just spent the whole weekend back and forth to the host trying to get this thing sorted out. It's still not really sorted out, but I've just spent 3 days on it, so now I just feel like it'll just have to stay as it is. There is a website there, you can get to it through the link. I haven't managed to set up a pay thing on there, but I have got a MailChimp page that does that, but it's all a bit not very good, really. And I just can't afford to pay people to do it for me, or I'm not terribly tech competent myself, and now I'm sort of thinking, oh, I've just done it on too much of a shoestring, really.
Can you set up a PayPal button somewhere where people can just go in and link in from the PayPal button?
I don't know.
I am not techie. I'm not techie at all. I did manage to set up a PayPal button.
I think that's where there's something has gone wrong, something to do with the SSL certification. Okay. They say it's okay. My site says it's not. It's coming up as not secure. I just don't know anymore, really. So now I'm trying to find a sort of friend who might come and look at it for me for cheap or whatever.
Oh, Fran, I managed to get a PayPal button onto my site just by posting it into the code. So if you do need anything, then message me. I also have the same problem in that the SSL certificate didn't show up for ages, and it was all to do with Google sort of authentic, like, you know,
it's all tied up with that.
Yeah. So it did eventually fix itself, but
right. So what, am I just waiting for the SSL certificate then, maybe?
Yeah,
why didn't they tell you that?
Yeah.
I mean, I just asked them the same questions so many different ways the other day. I was just exhausted, but I was nearly in tears at the end of it because they just wouldn't seem to understand what I was saying. And they're obviously fed up with me because, you know, they can tell I'm a complete noob and they don't really want to be bothered with answering all my...
Who are you using to host it?
Green Geeks. And they were very, very good initially. To be fair to them, like I say, it's been 3 days, you know, and they're like, maybe you need to get a web developer. I'm like, I can't afford it.
Have you tried just Googling how long the SSL certificate should take to come through?
Oh, well, I didn't realise until just now that I was waiting for that. Because nothing came up to say. I know I went through the process, but it never at any point said, you know, just wait patiently now for like 3 or 4 days. So if I'd have known that, that would have been helpful.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It is quite easy to set up a PayPal button when you feel happy about actually sort of talking about the website and so on. I'm happy to give you a hand on that if you need it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I can send you the kind of steps that I followed because, as I say, I'm not good at this at all. Philippa's got her hand up. Philippa, can you mute yourself or unmute yourself?
Sorry, it was Lucy's son waving to us, so I waved back. Sorry.
Never mind. I know, Lucy, there's been a bit of a conversation going on about PayPal behind the scenes as well. Yeah, PayPal Me link. Get people to click on that. The only thing about that, I used that once, and because now, am I right or wrong here? When I set up the PayPal Me link, it was just 0.00, and what you did was you went in and you put the amount of whatever the program was. But for some reason, people couldn't seem to get their head around having to put an amount in. Now, did I do it wrong? Should have a particular amount come up?
You can customize the link so it has an actual amount.
Right.
So if you put /GBP and then the number, then it'll have the amount. But I mean, people should be able to type in an amount, shouldn't they?
I know, and I kept going back to them and say, just type in the amount. But I did that just off, you know, like I had a little kind of graphic done, Fran, and that just, they bought it off that. So I didn't need a web page, you know, if that helps at all.
I think my web page, I've got quite a few blogs on there. And I think it explains, because what I'm trying to do does actually take quite a lot of explanation.
Right.
And I've been trying really hard to do a video that's less than 2 minutes, and it's just been impossible because I'm not explaining it properly. And so I think I do need the website for people to go to look at what I've put there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sorry, what's the 2-minute thing on the video?
Isn't there a limit on Facebook that your video has to be less than 2? Because the video that I did the other day froze and all you could hear was my voice.
Yeah, that must have been something else. It's nothing to do with Facebook. You can do much longer videos on Facebook.
Right. See, I mean, I'm just like, this is how I feel. Everything I'm trying to do this week, I have these weeks. I don't know, some of you might be into astrology. I've got, you know...
Join the tribe.
Nearly everything in my chart is in, you know, I've got so many retrograde things in my chart, apparently. This is what I'm told, including, and I don't know, but I know that there are weeks when just like everything just doesn't work, and it's just, I spend the whole week fiddling with pointless things.
Yeah.
And so that's the kind of week I've been having. On a more positive note, I have had 2 people, one has agreed to sign up and one has actually signed up. And then I had another inquiry as well. So that is good. And, you know, at the last resort, I will just offer it to people for free in order to have a group at the end, because, you know, I want to run it. I need to run it to get the confidence to get the next lot out, really. So that was quite positive, considering how little I've got it out there, really, because one person was literally, you know, from my Facebook posts.
How long? Let me just ask how long this course is. This program is.
Well, it's an ongoing membership, so that's the other thing. Is will the PayPal thing do repeat payments?
Oh, now that's a question I don't know the answer.
Rachel's nodding her head. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Thank
okay.
you.
Okay.
So because it's a membership, I want people to stay in it for as long as possible. Really, I'm hoping that I prove valuable enough to them that they will feel that they don't want to leave.
I think I'd be cautioning against you doing it for free, Fran. Just because I think that kind of often when people get things for free, they don't value them.
Yeah.
What were you trying to charge monthly?
Only £10.
Okay, which is not a huge amount for
No.
expertise in your guidance.
It's not.
Yeah. What does anybody else think? I mean, I think even if you had 3 or 4 people, 5 people to start with, I mean, I think you would learn a lot even from people. You might not be making a fortune. I appreciate it.
No.
What do other people think? Carol?
My only thought is if you've got anyone that you know that would be able to add value in terms of Facebook, wherever you're running it, the comments and stuff like that coming through, that it may be worth having that. When I ran my last online course, I did have someone review it for me free of charge. She did do the course for me because I wanted to get some reviews up there. But I would agree with Heather, it is a low cost item, but if you want to get some feedback on it, and you've got people who will give you that quality feedback, are prepared to put the time in return for the free information and so on, then I would say yes, do it.
Yeah. It's also an issue of having a group that's active and interesting enough to keep people engaged.
Agreed. Yeah.
I did that with the 30 days, Fran, when I first ran it. I had 10 people signed up at the end of the day, and I gave 4 places away to people that again, for exactly what Carol's saying, I said to them, if you'd like this, I'd like to gift it to you because I need people who I know will post on the Facebook group. And then, of course, what that did was it got all the other people posting as well.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't give all of it away for free to everyone. I would cherry pick maybe a couple of people, just echoing what Carol said, who and just make it clear that you would like their input. It's really important for them to post. Brida's got something to say.
Yeah, so I think that, Fran, you and I are in the same boat in that there's a tremendous amount of free content out there. And the parents the parents that you're working with and the people that I deal with are already stretched and exhausted physically and emotionally and often financially. And so to pay for something that they don't know it's different or something that they can't get for free. So just while this was going on, I got a message from one of the groups that I posted in kind of illegally, just putting a sales post. And this woman's response was, "This looks like a great program. It's wonderful. But at $17 a month, it's just more than most caregivers could afford." So my answer back, to not lose her because she's interested, she's saying it's a good thing, is to say, I appreciate that very much and I understand. And just so you know that if this is something that you're interested in and you really can't afford it but would want to participate, I do have a limited number of scholarships available so that I'm hoping I can get some traction. And if I can get her to be interested, not diminish, not say, oh, it's free, just join in anyway. But what I'm going to do is, if she DMs me, I'm going to offer her like 6 months for free. And then hopefully she'll be engaged and think it's a value, and then she will share it with others. Yeah. So I don't know if that's a suggestion. If you get any pushback from anyone, maybe try that.
Yeah, that's certainly better than offering them for free forever, because it's going to drag you down, isn't it, after a while?
Yeah.
And also, if I don't get more traction, then I won't be doing it forever.
Yeah. But again, Fran, all that you've got to offer, it's so needed, it's so worthwhile. And I think, as I said to Brida, keep the faith, because I'm sure you can make this happen. And I can totally understand the frustrations with tech at the moment. If you can get it out there in some way, you say you've got one sign up, one person who's going to an inquiry, could you start running it with 5-6 people, do you think, to get something happening?
Yes, I could do, yes.
And then keep moving. And also
and then I'd have to put a lot of input into the Facebook group myself and
Yeah.
make sure that it works like that.
But you know, if you can then, what I did with my one I did last month was kind of go back to, and it wasn't a membership. I appreciate that. So we're talking about a slightly different thing here. But you know, I then went back to everyone and said, you know, could I use your words? Because we all know, I think, that we can say wonderful things about our programs, but when somebody else says wonderful things about our programs,
It's
so much stronger. And everybody came back and said, of course you can use my words. You know, so I think there's ways of working around with this, just building bit by bit, step by step. You know, you got to start somewhere. Have I used as many cliches as I can possibly? Fran, anything else that I can offer or we can offer at the moment?
I don't think so. No, I've just got to get over this video hump. That's the thing that's really holding me back. I keep trying, I keep making rubbish videos.
No, listen, I love the video you did outside and the whole wide world and you panned around.
Yeah,
I love that. So
I was quite pleased with that, but then like I say, it just freezes and then all, you know, you can hear me. So I thought, oh, I can't, you know, then I thought, oh, it's because it's too long for Facebook, and then it just becomes a whole kind of thing again.
Have another go. Have another
go.
Because it was
signal maybe drop out or something. You weren't doing it as a live, were you? You were doing it as
lives are time limited, aren't they?
No.
No? Oh, right, okay.
If you do lives outside, you use a lot, well, you use a lot of your data for one thing, and you also, if the signal drops out, you're stuck, you know.
Right, okay.
So I only do...
probably won't work round here then.
No, I do a lot of lives
I have noticed that I set up an Instagram account and I did absolutely nothing with it because I just didn't know how to use it, and I've been trying to work on everything else, and I've got 57 followers. So I need to get back on that, and so my son's going to give me a lesson in Instagram today. Because I've got quite a few sort of colourful posts. I've got that kind of thing. I haven't given away lots of free content because I really struggle with the spectrum and variety of children that I'm talking about. So I have done a post called 5 Easy Steps to Becoming an Awesome Autism Parent, which is all about how there isn't 5 easy steps, and what works for one family won't work for another.
Sounds like a good blog post.
Yeah, I think it is quite a good one. So, and then I find, so how do people organize their blogs and their links? Because I'm just spending so much time going back, getting the link from my website and then adding that to a post in Facebook. And then to do that again in LinkedIn, and then to do it again in Instagram, and then to do it again in Twitter. Do you just store all your links on a separate document so that you just go to that? How do people do it? Is that making any sense?
I do what you've been doing. I don't know if anybody else has got some wisdom. I think one of the answers can be batching, spending a day or half a day actually doing all this sort of stuff and scheduling it. But I'm saying that, and sometimes I'm good at that and sometimes I'm not.
Yeah. See, I tried to link my Twitter and my Facebook. That clearly hasn't worked.
Well, again, if you
no, everyone's shaking their heads. All knowledgeable people.
You listen back to the recording when we post it. Philippa was giving us a lot of guidance earlier on about a lot of this stuff.
Right, I'll have to. I missed that bit, of course. So my usual tech chaos.
Okay, Fran, if there's nothing else, I want to bring Sarah.
No, that's fine, thanks.
Good luck, Han. We're all kind of behind you.
Thank
you. Sarah, how are you?
Can you hear me all right?
Yep. Can you speak up maybe a little bit?
Yep. So I think there's something wrong with my computer. I need to get it fixed. I'm all right. I've launched my my social media challenge, my free challenge. I didn't manage to do as much pre-launch stuff as I planned. I was hoping to do videos, posts and drum up interest before we went live. Unfortunately, my 2 cats, why I've just been to the vet, have not been well. So I sort of had to shelve the video stuff. I did do some posts. I have got, so I've been trying to spread the word with, you know, all the tribes I'm in, so Facebook groups, personal Facebook. Who else? I've got a couple of coaches on board who are on Instagram, and they've joined, they've signed up, which is awesome. I spent the weekend learning how to do MailChimp and automated emails. Working all weekend, knew nothing about this. So if nothing else, I've learned a lot, which I'm going to be able to use in the future, which is really, really useful. So it's been a day. This is day 2 of the challenge, and I think I'm in that slumpy bit where I'm like, is anyone actually listening? Is anyone seeing this stuff? Because I've got 2 people along with me who are posting things. So now my challenge is how can I kind of snowball this? How can I get more people listening and noticing? I did do my first ever Instagram video story post yesterday. So the first time I've been on video. It's quite a long video as well. So that's something, and I've heard that video really bumps you up the algorithms and is more likely to get you noticed. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I'm trying not to spend too much time on it, because I did notice that yesterday I was kind of trying to problem solve in my head. Or maybe if I do that'll work, and maybe if I do that'll work. And you know, it's a 3-month-long challenge, so I have to make sure that I put it down when necessary to keep focusing on work that's actually, you know, generating income. Yeah. So
how many people have you got on?
So I've got, I think 3 who've actually been to my mailing list, who've signed up, downloaded the freebie that I put together, and are posting on Instagram and Facebook.
Right. Okay. And can people still sign up, or is it kind of closed?
No, they can absolutely sign up. So I am going to do some boost posts to say, you know, you can join at any time during the 30 days. This isn't a closed thing. So if you only hear about it, you know, on day 15, that is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know you haven't got what you maybe hoped you get, but you clearly have learnt an awful lot in the process.
Absolutely.
Are you learning from the actual free challenge as well, from the people who are posting? You know, are they enjoying it?
Yeah, I think I will be, because I've looked at some of their posts today, and they are. So I guess I'm learning in terms of what they're putting out, and I'm learning kind of the stuff that I didn't do, if that makes sense. Because now I'm thinking, oh, actually, that probably would have been, maybe I should have put it back a week, so I could have given it a week long to pre-launch and really, you know, hammered, you know, this is coming and this is going to be amazing. And I really would have loved to have done some videos beforehand, because I think that would have got a lot of notice as well. Yeah, Philippa, I've just seen your chat, so I'll do that. Thanks.
Yeah, I was going to draw your attention to that, to post the links and things.
Yep.
And I suppose my question to you would be, if you put it back, would you still be saying, you know, in a week's time, oh, maybe I should have done more? Because I think the nature, you know, I think one of the great things about this program and forcing us actually to get out there and launch is that we learn so much from the launch. And as long as we can,
that's true, yeah.
I mean, yes, we have the disappointments as well, but you know, we learn through the disappointments too. And I know for me, you know, I've been in business for myself for a long time, but it was the first cohort that got me doing an online program, and me getting something launched without it being perfect, because we're such flipping perfectionists as well. So, you know, I think, again, for all of us, this is, you know, picked up from Sarah here, but we've got to remember what we have achieved and what we have learnt in that achievement, and even what our disappointments have taught us as well. So, you know, it may not be perfection, and it may not have got the number of people we wanted or the money we wanted, but at least we've actually been out there and done it, you know. So yeah, well done everybody for what they've achieved so far. And you know, I'm becoming the broken record of, you know, keep plugging away here, keep being determined, keep getting, you know, just keep getting it out there. As Philippa said, ages ago, you know, if you're posting and you think you're posting too much, you're probably still not posting as much as you think you are, because she said that every post has about a lifespan of, I think it was 10 minutes, but I might have been wrong there. and yeah, 10 minutes. So, you know, people are coming on all the time. So you can probably post a lot more than you think without somebody going, oh my God, she's always in my face, you know. So, Sarah, anything we can do for you apart from share and promote what everybody?
I think, yeah, just signal boosting. So sharing, help me sort of get it out there. I think, yeah, if I can just, yeah, increase that reach, I think that'll be brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Any questions, pointers, tips, etc. for Carol?
Just want to make one point for anyone who, sorry, I'm not trying to teach anyone how to suck technical eggs here, but if we're all putting stuff in the Tribe Builder group, remember that you cannot share from that group because it is a private group. It's not allowing us to share. You've got to go back to the original posts that someone's put in there to be able to share stuff if you're doing it on Facebook. So just a kind of a word of warning on that one.
Thank you for that, actually, because I keep forgetting that. So I'm sure there's other people forgetting that as well, or not knowing it in the first place. I don't mind how many times things are repeated. I think they're always useful. We need to hear them quite a few times. Anybody else got any other gems of wisdom for Sarah or for anybody else? No. Okay. Right. We're a few minutes before 3. I can't believe I actually managed to get, I hope I haven't railroaded too many people because it's just like, okay. Lots of really good stuff in the chat, as I mentioned already, lots of tips and suggestions. Definitely lots of stuff in this recording as well. And as soon as I get notification of it, that it's ready, I'll stick it up here for anyone, especially like Sarah, who hasn't been here from the beginning, and Fran too. Is this the last call? No, I think there's one more.
It's on the 15th.
Next
Thursday. Heather, what about you?
Oh God, yeah. I've
forgotten everybody else, but not about you.
Well, I haven't had any sign-ups yet. To be completely honest, I'm not that disappointed in the sense that I haven't done a lot about launching it. I've done some lovely graphics. I got a bit carried away with those. But I haven't finished writing the toolkit yet either. So the fact is, if somebody signed up and bought it, they wouldn't get it just yet. But my target is to have that finished tomorrow. And of course, I did what I always do. And Julie would be telling me off for over delivering. I kept thinking, oh, I could put that in it, and I could put that in it, and I could put that in it. So this document was getting bigger and bigger. So I've had to be a little bit, bring it back, Heather. I know I can add to it later. The downside of not having it out there yet is I am aware that in the States, for instance, they're going back to school already. And in the UK, Scotland go back to school middle of August, England go back at the end of August. I think Wales and Northern Ireland go back at the end of August. So in fact, we've not got that much more time of the summer anyway. The summer bit was a bit of a hook. This thing is relevant all year round, so you might see me changing the marketing slightly. Am I disappointed at this stage? Not yet, because I feel I haven't really promoted it enough, and it's my fault it's not out there. I think it is a good document. I think there's a lot in it, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I'm writing a book at the moment, and this is book writing month, so there's kind of an awful lot going on, which is why I haven't been that present either. This cohort for me has been a not present very much cohort, and I'm sorry about that, guys. Anyway, thank you for asking. Thank you for showing up on the call and for sharing. We're all in this together. We're all ready to support each other. We've all got each other's backs. You're all doing amazing things. We have got so much expertise in this group about our own areas, and it's just fabulous, So thank you, ladies. And yeah, if there's nothing else, we bring this to an end, and have a good, productive day for the rest of the day. And I'll get this recording up as soon as possible. Thank you, everybody. Bye. Bye.